In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to do the responsive conversion on your website. The responsive conversion is a quick process that will take your site from being one of our legacy designs into one of the more modern designs, both in its appearance and its functionality. The functionality part is that the responsive design allows your website to adjust better to being displayed on both mobile and desktop devices. If you've been with our service for a while, you may have a website that looks like our tutorial site here, which is using one of our legacy homepage layouts and one of our legacy themes. This was the default many years ago when the service first started. Since then, mobile devices have become more prevalent, and so we've updated the service in recent years to allow the theme and the homepage layout and the rest of the applications to adapt more appropriately to being displayed on mobile device screens, which of course are smaller and more vertically oriented than the average desktop browser window, which is kind of more horizontally oriented, kind of that portrait versus landscape view. So what we've got here is the typical legacy website theme and homepage, and now I'm going to go through the steps to show you how to do the conversion. Before we start, let me say that it's a quick process, only takes about a minute, and there is an undo. So there's no reason to not try this if you're still using one of the legacy formats and you'd like to update to a more modern, visually more modern, and also a more functionally modern website. So you may have seen this too if you've ever gone into the Setup Info app, and if you're using one of our legacy themes, you'll see this message about your site is using a legacy theme. Click here to learn more about updating. So what we can do is we can either click here, and that'll take us into the responsive conversion app. You can also get there through the admin page. There is an app called Responsive Conversion. And when you come in here, it's a pretty simple process. There's only a few options. One warning that it does tell you here is that if your homepage has custom content, it will be replaced with a default template. That's because the homepage template has to be designed from scratch in a responsive HTML code. There really isn't a good way to take existing content, an entire HTML web page like your current homepage, and convert that to responsive without manually editing the underlying code to work a certain way. So we've designed default templates for the homepage, but there isn't a way to really take your existing content, whether it be images or text, and fit it into those existing templates automatically. It can be done manually, certainly, after the fact, but you'll have to replace your homepage, and this process will do that when you do part of the responsive conversion. So let's take a look at how this works. This warning up here in red is basically what I just said, is that your homepage is going to be replaced by one of our default templates that has been built responsively. And it allows you to download the content of your original homepage so that you can have it available and use it to copy and paste from or to look at if you need it later. The selections you have are your theme. Now, this process will allow you to choose one of the new responsive themes. A bunch of new themes have been designed if you haven't updated recently, and they're all available on our server. This process will download the one you select and update your site with that theme. You can also do that through the theme manager as well, and I'll show you after this process how you can do that. So there's a list of themes here, and these are all the ones that are responsive. And I'm going to go to the one called responsive. That's kind of our default responsive theme now. And it does an update and shows you that the header image will have kind of a cloud background. And it gives you a brief view, a very simplified view of what the color scheme is, the menu color and the window color and the background color. Now you can keep, if you have a theme image that you've updated in your current theme, your current default theme, perhaps you have a custom photo of your community entrance or something like that you want to have, and you want to keep that as your default theme header. You can do that by checking this box. The last thing you have to do, or the only other thing you have to do, is choose your new homepage layout. And there are 3 general layouts. There's a 1 column, a 2 column, and a 3 column. And there are thumbnails here so you can get a view of what they look like. The 1 column, well, this kind of looks like it has 2 columns, but technically the whole page is 1 long column. The 2 column actually is a 2 column homepage. It has some text with an image that you can change, of course, the usual way. And then this right-hand column has some placeholder text with some links to things like documents, calendar, and other areas of the website. The 3 column is a more complex homepage. Again, it will come with placeholder text that you have to replace and images that are just placeholders that you will have to replace. It has some links up top here, for documents or other popular features. It's got a calendar over here, a mini calendar. It has a few of the other info boxes, weather, perhaps news or other types of things, and some other text that you could put in here. These will all be boxes you can edit later on in the homepage editor, of course. So the one thing you have to know that's probably the most important about choosing a new homepage layout is this. The 1 column homepage layout is ready to go as soon as you select it and do the conversion. That is, it has kind of the same default text that you had when you first set up your trial site. It just says, welcome to the community. This is our new community. It has a few links in this area. You can log in, you can view documents. It's got some buttons here for quick access to news, calendar, photos, that type of thing. And then at the bottom of this page, which you can't see in the thumbnail, are also some links to other features. The 2 column and the 3 column have more content on the homepage, so they both have placeholder text. Some of you will recognize it as the lorem ipsum text, what they call Greek text, which is basically just a placeholder of nonsensical words that's used by typesetters in order to give a sample of what real text would look like. But this text would need to be replaced, which you can do in the homepage editor. And there's actually a video tutorial about modifying the homepage and walks through the steps of how to edit the text. So it's not a difficult process, but it is something you'd have to do fairly quickly, because as soon as you do the conversion, your homepage will now have this placeholder text, which of course is just placeholder text. It doesn't mean anything. Whereas the 1 column homepage, even though it may not be your custom text, it is still valid text that says, welcome to the community, and here are some important links, so that you could kind of leave that for a little while until you had time to update it, because it would function immediately as a standalone homepage, whereas these require some fairly immediate action because they contain nonsensical placeholder text. The 3 column also has a couple little spots for smaller images that you would need to replace as well. So that is how this form is filled out. It's pretty simple. Again, you're just choosing a theme from one of the themes. You're choosing which column homepage layout you like. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and you're going to see just how quickly this happens. So this is our current theme. And the one big thing you're going to notice is that the new theme is going to be the full width of the page, as opposed to many of our legacy themes, which have a background showing, and the theme is fixed in terms of its width. So let's go ahead and do convert, and let's see what happens. Oh, I did not select the homepage layout. I'm going to click on 1 column. There you can go. You can see it's highlighted now. Now let's go ahead. And are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And that's it. It is done. So now when we click on the link to go to our homepage, we'll see the new theme. It'll load for the next page we go to. There's also a link here that says, do you want to download the latest responsive themes for your site? And I'm going to do that. Well, actually, let's go to the homepage first, and we'll take a look at that real quickly. So let's go to the homepage, and you'll see the new theme loads. And here you can see the new homepage. There's no image loaded, but if you've seen the other tutorials, you know that in the homepage layout, you can easily select a homepage by going to the homepage image. And I'm just going to select the sample lake image. It warns you that it's going to be public. And then I can save it. And we'll go back and see there is our homepage. And this is the new responsive layout. If your old layout had a side menu, a vertical side menu, it will have been converted to the horizontal menu. Now, it's hard for it to know how you'd like this side menu to be converted to the horizontal menu. The horizontal menu is much more common in newer websites. The vertical menu is much more of an older website design. So we do convert it automatically, and it will try to create submenus like we have here. If you had any submenus over here, it will keep them the same. If you had section dividers, it will try to keep those in submenus. So it will do its best, but you may have to make adjustments to your menu after doing the conversion. If you had a side menu and you're moving over to the top menu in this case. Other than that, you'll have this default template. As you can see, it has kind of the standard welcome text here, has some links to contacts and photo galleries and such, some quick icons, and then of course more detailed icons down here with links to other parts of the website, which may not be quite as frequently used. I want to go over to the admin, and I want to go into the theme manager and talk about downloading the other responsive themes, because this theme is a special theme. It had to be designed specifically to fit the whole page, have its menu and other things specifically set up to work for both mobile and desktop devices. So let's take a look here. Down at the bottom corner, you'll see this link that says Restore Themes. If you click on that, these are now the latest versions of all the themes we have on our server. They may not be on your site, especially if your site is an older site and you haven't done this process before. You will only have the legacy themes. At that point, we recommend that you say Select All, leave this set to Settings and Images, and click Restore. What that will do is that will download from our server the latest versions of all of our themes, and these are all responsive themes. So all of these work on mobile and desktop, and they have all the settings built in and ready to go. It won't change your current theme unless, of course, you've modified. For example, we're on the responsive theme right now. If you've modified the responsive theme since converting to it and made changes, this will download from our server again, so it will overwrite it. But in this case, I haven't done anything. I've simply converted to the responsive theme. So downloading isn't going to cause any problem because the version I'm going to get is the one I just got as part of the conversion. So I recommend this because in the future you may say, hey, you know what, let's switch our theme up. And at that point, you can just go into the theme setting up here. This is just a quick reference to the theme setting in Setup Info. And so you could change your theme to one of the new responsive themes and update your website. And that's all there is to it. If you decide for some reason you don't like the way the new theme looks, you can go to Admin and then go to Responsive Conversion, which is over here. And it will tell you you already seem to be using one of our responsive themes. And down at the bottom, you're going to see this link to undo the conversion. And this is also a 5-second process. You click on undo. Are you sure you want to undo? The process runs and you're done. It's been restored. As soon as we click this link and go to the home page, you'll see everything put back the way it was. We do that and you can see everything is back to the way it was. The old home page is restored. This will have your original content, whatever you had in your home page before, and your theme with the layout will be back to the way it was before. So that's how you perform the responsive conversion. Again, it's a real quick process. I think sometimes people have heard about it or know about it. They've seen it. Maybe they've even wanted to do it. They really want to support, mobile devices. Residents may have been asking, hey, this doesn't work very well on mobile devices. But sometimes there's fear because it seems like a big change. But it really isn't. It's actually a very quick process. It's very easy to do. And there's an undo if for some reason you don't like it. So I hope you found this helpful, and I really do recommend moving to one of our responsive themes. There will come a day when the legacy themes won't be supported anymore or may not be available. So it is worth moving over. It will generally make things better for all of your residents when they're viewing the website on their mobile devices. Things fit better and work better on mobile devices once converted. Well, I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and thank you very much for watching.